Hi everyone, this is Surviving Holland. My name is Justin, and you are watching a channel where we discuss geopolitics, survival, and everything that is going on in the world, especially here in our continent, Europe. So let's dive right in because I have quite a few interesting articles for you. So, support for mandatory conscription grows, but many would avoid service. The Netherlands has seen a rising support for reintroducing mandatory military service, with 58% of the population in favor of bringing back active conscription. However, despite the growing approval, over half of those eligible to serve would seek to avoid military duty, according to a recent survey by Een Vandaag. All right, so this is quite the topic right now in the Netherlands. A lot of people right now are talking about it, and that is conscription. So a lot of people in the Netherlands, they are not very familiar with the law regarding conscription, but right now they are in the processing of changing the military conscription. Well, actually, it's called reactivating what we say in Dutch, the opkomstplicht. So opkomstplicht basically means that you have to show up. It's your duty, your show up plight, so to say. So that means you have to show up and serve a year into the military to get familiar with the military, the Dutch military. And things are rapidly changing because a few months before it was that you only see an article sometimes, but right now it's like every week you see an article that's telling about conscription. So we can really see that they are introducing the idea to the people, and to make the people warm for the idea to get into a conflict with Russia. Also, a month ago, our minister Thijs was talking about that he needed 100,000. So that was the plan for our military in the Netherlands. But after that, like a month or so, they upped the antics and they said, no, we're gonna need way more. So instead of the 100,000 people that they said that they were gonna need, right now it changed to a 200,000. And for the Netherlands, everyone between 17 and 45 is eligible for conscription. But the youngsters from 17, they get a letter sent to their house where they ask the person to serve into the military for maybe like a year. But the thing is when you do that, like most young people, they don't know that once you serve a year in the military, that they are going to write your name down, and once they need you, they are going to call you up for this. All right, so let's go on to the next article that I've prepared for you guys. So the next article is about Europe and the tariffs that Trump put on different countries. So right here we see that Europe gears up to make its first countermove to Trump tariffs. European Union officials will vet and vote on a list of retaliatory tariffs this week while contemplating what comes next. All right, so right here we see the article. President Trump's announcement last week that he will impose a 20% tariff on goods coming from the European Union sends shockwaves across the 27 nation bloc, the latest move in an unfolding trade war that is tearing the close partners apart. This week, Europe will push ahead with its first countermaneuver, one of potentially several to come. The European Union officials have spent the last several weeks refining a list of retaliatory tariffs that they plan to put into place on April 15. Member states, foreign and trade ministers were meeting to discuss US and EU relationships in Luxembourg on Monday, with the list set to be circulated later in the day. A vote on the list is expected on Wednesday, EU officials said. Those tariffs would come in response to steel and aluminium levies that Washington previously announced, and they are expected to be sweeping. The preliminary list covered everything from bourbon and motorcycles to boats and soybeans. So, right now, we see that things are ramping up, especially in the world as well as in Europe. So, the tariffs are coming. I think they are in place right now. So the European Union doesn't want to sit back. So they are going to impose a 20% tariffs back to the United States. And I am wondering like what the actual purpose of this is, because for a long time the Europeans always saw the Americans as an ally, but I think this really shocked a lot of Europeans, a lot of citizens, but as well as a lot of people who are leading the European Union. So, a lot of companies want to leave the Netherlands, and we are talking about international companies. So, yeah, right now you have a company called Boskalis, which is a very big international player inside the harbor of Rotterdam, which is thinking about leaving. And this could cost thousands of jobs. Obviously, a lot of companies who work with this company are also going to struggle more financially because it's such a huge operation. This has to do with the financial climate that is being created in the Netherlands, because growth is not happening anymore. So yeah, there's a lot of things happening right now in the Netherlands as well as in Europe as well as in the world. But I'm wondering what you guys are thinking about it and where you guys are from. So this is my first video. I know it wasn't the best, but I'm learning as I go, and I hope I can take you guys with me to keep you guys informed about what's going on in the Netherlands, in Europe, and in the world as a whole. And maybe we can work together towards a better future, a healthier and a happier future, because at the end, that is my goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it wasn't the best. Subscribe and like and comment. Let me know what you guys thought. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.